Welcome, dear souls, to the shadows that dance upon the edge of reality. I am but a whisper in the abyss, a harbinger of the unknown, a girl draped in the shroud of darkness. Tonight, as we gather under the veil of the unseen, let me regale you with a tale that transcends the boundaries between the living and the beyond. In the depths of a small town in 1949 Maryland, a young boy named Roland Doe would become the vessel for forces that defy the grasp of mortal understanding. Join me as we unravel the tale of possession, demonic whispers, and the relentless battle between light and shadow. Prepare, for the shadows, hunger, and the echoes of despair beckon. We are darkness, and tonight, the story unfolds. The Exorcist not only captivated audiences with its spine-chilling scenes, but also drew inspiration from a hauntingly real story of demonic possession. Let me tell you the eerie tale of Roland Doe, a young boy whose life took a horrifying turn after the sudden death of his beloved aunt, Millie, in 1949. Maryland. Aunt Millie, an avid spiritualist, had a profound impact on Roland. Intrigued by her interest in spirits, the afterlife, and Ouija boards, Roland spent the summer of 1948 learning the mystique of the supernatural from his aunt. The bond they shared was abruptly severed with Millie's unexpected passing, leaving Roland in a state of profound grief. Desperate to reconnect with his aunt, Roland rediscovered the Ouija board she had gifted him. In a moment of desperation, he attempted to communicate with Millie, unwittingly setting in motion a series of bizarre and terrifying events. What followed was a cascade of unexplained occurrences that shook the foundations of Roland's reality and left his family grappling with the inexplicable. The disturbances began subtly, with a steady dripping sound that seemed to have no origin. This inexplicable phenomenon persisted for about a week before transforming into unsettling thumps and scratches emanating from within the walls. The family, initially attributing the sounds to mice, enlisted the services of a renowned exterminator, only to find no evidence of a rodent infestation. As the days unfolded, the disturbances intensified. Furniture began to move of its own accord, and objects were hurled across rooms by an unseen force. A portrait of Jesus, hanging on the wall, rattled and shook as if under attack from an invisible entity. Alarmed by these inexplicable events, the family sought logical explanations, but none were forthcoming. The crescendo of paranormal activity reached its peak when the malevolent force seemed to migrate from the walls to Roland's room. His bed began shaking violently, awakening him to a nightmarish reality. Terrified, he called out to his mother, who witnessed the bed's convulsions. Seeking answers, the family consulted a doctor and a psychiatrist, both of whom concluded that Roland was stressed, but otherwise healthy. A month after Millie's death, the situation took a sinister turn. Markings, seemingly etched by an otherworldly hand, appeared on Roland's body. The first marking spelled out the name Lewis. Faced with the unexplainable, the family turned to the Ouija board once more, attempting to communicate with Millie's spirit. Their efforts bore unsettling fruit, as the entity they contacted demonstrated its presence through violent physical manifestations. Convinced that their son was entangled with something demonic, the family sought the guidance of their local Lutheran pastor. After witnessing the disturbing events firsthand, he urged them to contact the Catholic Church, specialists in matters of demonic possession. Fleeing the area in a futile attempt to escape the paranormal occurrences, the family sought refuge in St. Louis, Missouri, only to find that the malevolent forces persisted. Desperate for a solution, the family reached out to Father Bowden, a Catholic priest who, after extensive discussions, decided to conduct prayers over Roland to assess the situation. To his surprise, the prayers triggered a violent reaction from the boy, leading Father Bowden to suspect the presence of demonic forces. Convinced of the severity of the situation, he sought permission from the Archbishop of St. Louis to perform the rites of exorcism. Agreeing to provide a detailed account of the proceedings, the exorcism, a grueling and intense spiritual battle, unfolded in Roland's room. Violent resistance from the possessed boy tested the resolve of Father Bowden and another priest, Father Bishop. The family, too, became entangled in the struggle as they aided the priests in restraining Roland during the ritual. The malevolent forces seemed to retreat temporarily, leading the family and priests to believe in a momentary triumph. However, as warned by the ritual guide for exorcism, the devil can deceive by creating an illusion of departure. True to this warning, the disturbances returned with even greater intensity. Faced with escalating violence, spontaneous urinations, and paranormal manifestations, the family and priests persisted in their quest to free Roland from the grip of the demonic. As the ritual extended into the nights, the supernatural occurrences became increasingly bizarre and unsettling. On the 18th day, Roland, seemingly under the influence of the demonic entity, made a chilling proclamation. He wrote, "I am the devil himself, and within 10 days I will give you a sign." True to his words, a Roman numeral 10 materialized on his chest, marking a disturbing turn in the exorcism. Undeterred, Father Bowden decided to baptize Roland in the hopes of easing the demonic possession. The baptism provided a temporary respite, calming the possessed boy. However, the peace was short-lived as Roland returned to fits of violence and curses shortly after. Night after night, the relentless prayers continued, with Roland's torment showing no signs of abating. The priests faced unprecedented challenges as Roland's possession manifested in increasingly grotesque ways. During one session, the word "exit" was inexplicably carved on his chest, sending shivers down the spines of those witnessing the horrifying event. The devil, seemingly speaking through Roland, issued cryptic statements, heightening the tension in the room. As the nights wore on, the priests faced physical assaults from the possessed boy, including attempts to stab Father Bowden and levitations that defied the laws of nature. The struggle reached a climactic moment when, after 7 grueling hours, Roland claimed to witness St. Michael the Archangel using a flaming sword to drive the devil away. With this proclamation, Roland fell silent, and the demonic presence seemed to withdraw. After 28 harrowing days, Roland slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy. The leaked records of the exorcism became a source of embarrassment for those involved, violating Roland's confidentiality. The harrowing experience caught the attention of William Peter Blatty, who, inspired by the case, wrote the iconic novel The Exorcist. Despite the skepticism surrounding Roland's possession, Father Bowden maintained his conviction, stating, "What was in that room that night was the otherworldly force we call the devil in the flesh." The Catholic Church considered Roland's case one of its most substantial in the last 300 years, while skeptics attributed the events to an emotionally compromised adolescent coping with the loss of a loved one. But we all know better, don't we? That concludes our sojourn into the realm of shadows, dear mortals. I, your spectral narrator, trust that our descent into the abyss has left an indelible mark upon your souls. As we bid farewell to the tale of Roland Doe, remember that the boundary between the earthly and the infernal is as thin as the veil between dusk and night. If you found solace in the embrace of the dark, or were tormented by the echoes of the unknown, consider subscribing to We Are Darkness.
Embrace the darkness, for it is within these shadows that mysteries unfold, and the secrets of the supernatural come to life. Like, share, and let the whispers of the unexplored guide you through the corridors of the enigmatic.
Until we cross paths again, stay vigilant, for the abyss never truly sleeps. I, your spectral companion, bid you farewell from the depths of We Are Darkness,